Hi, and welcome to Sister Strong, a podcast and video series about possibility. I am your host, Betsy Wiersma. This podcast and video series is our way to share ideas and insights and women that are amazing to help you on your journey as we stand sister strong together for health and happiness. These are ideas for your toolkit, so just try them on and see if they can work for you. Today, we are so blessed. We have such a special guest today, the amazing Susan Aberbook. She has been a long-time partner in the CampExperience Network, both in the days where she was an insurance agent and now as a recovered insurance agent, serving the world with LegalShield and just helping so many people, places, and things. So welcome today, Susan.
Thank you, Miss Betsy. It's wonderful to see you, and I appreciate this platform to be able to help and give some advice to my much loved sisters.
Well, this is to the sisters, but this is also to the whole world because really we are interested in just talking to you. You know, we have this time on our hands, and that's something that's just such a gift. You know, in the middle of all the crazy, we do have time in our hands. And many of the things you tell us are things that we could be doing in our life and preparing in our life. And everybody always says the same darn thing. I'm too busy. I'm too busy. Well, hey, what if you're not too busy? There might be some things Susan Aberbook can help you do. So let's talk a little bit about, give everyone the overview, people that don't know you. I want you to start a little with the overview of you and your businesses that you represent. And then we'll get a little deeper into that and we'll talk about both of the products and how we can be doing great things for ourselves right now. So take it away, Susan.
Well, my name is Susan Aberbook. I work with LegalShield. So LegalShield is a different way to gain access to attorney representation for any question that you may have. So we are a prepaid legal. So our membership starting at $25 a month, half of that goes directly to the law firms to build up a big retainer so that the attorneys are there to help us when life's little hiccups happen or big hiccups happen. And I'll share with you a little bit what they've helped me with. But you know, everyone needs access to attorneys, just not the wealthy that can afford to pay those big checks.
Well, that is what's so inspiring, I think, about how you serve in your business is you want all people to know what you know and what you've spent a lot of time learning about. So there's two halves to the business. There's the legal shield part and there's the identity part. So let's start in the legal world. What are some things that every single person needs to have in place to be sure that they are planning well for themselves and their families?
Well, I think the most important thing to do in times like this, when people are getting things done in their homes, is a will. A last will and testament is a snapshot of what your entire household is. So it runs through your bank accounts, your life insurance, your this, and it expresses how you would like that to be happened. You know, we don't all get to stay here forever. So it's just a nice way to make sure that there's not panic or chaos around there. It's all in one place. It's notarized. People know exactly what you want to have happen. And then along with that, right now I'm working with a lot of people on their healthcare power of attorneys. I have two boys. They are 19 and 21. One is out of state. If something were to happen to them, a car accident or what have you, I would like to be the one to decide what happens to them. So I have had the law firm here in Colorado do my last will and testament and healthcare powers of attorneys for both of my boys so that there's no question on who gets to make the decisions for me and for my children.
So I want to go back and ask you some questions that people listening might have in their mind. So if you don't know any single thing about doing a will, right, you're starting at zero, how does LegalShield help me walk through what I need to do? Are there some, you know, because I might not even know where to start. And, you know, some people might be kind of afraid of that, of doing a will. But obviously, I think of anybody, you guys have a way to make it fairly simple.
It is fairly simple. We actually have a will questionnaire that I can email to you and you can get started on. It helps you kind of gather all the information. So my husband and I, over the years, have had several wills. When our boys were younger, under the age of 18, we had to have someone to represent and create a trust for them. And who was it going to be? Well, my husband's sister was a politically correct one. And then as a backup for her, in case she wasn't able to do it, I actually had one of my sisters do it. But it takes you through. It's very simple, but you do need to make some some decisions. Like if you want to donate to charity, what that might be, who all your offspring may be, your children, stepchildren, grandchildren, beneficiaries of life insurance, you know, all this, it gives wonderful guidance here. So if you have any questions in filling out this, you have access to talk to an attorney and call into the law firm. They return your call within 4 hours, and you can ask unlimited questions. You can have them walk through the whole questionnaire, or I can also help, even though I'm not an attorney. I've helped a lot of clients do it. So I'm your advocate. I'm right there alongside you for whatever questions you might have or need.
And then let me ask, here I'm still under the LegalShield part of the family. Let's talk about what a power of attorney means. So as you know, my mom passed away in May, God rest her soul up in heaven. And it was very important that we knew her living will, right? And that my dad had the power of attorney. And there's, a side story. We were in the emergency and the doctor looked at us and said, "What is her living will? And where is it?" My dad said, "At home in a file somewhere." But the good news was, thank goodness, he had it. He knew her wishes, and we all could be peaceful with that. So tell people about, especially now in a time where everyone's thinking about mortality and thinking about staying safe from this virus, about what a power of attorney is and what it is used for.
So that living or healthcare power of attorney is, say, one of my husband or my boys were unable, so they're unconscious. Maybe they are in a induced coma, so that their body can help recover or give time to make those end of life decisions. It says, you know, um, my husband never wants the ventilator plugged in if there's no hope of him surviving. I want to be on a ventilator for like 6 months. I want my hair done and my nails done. and but it is, do you want to be resuscitated? And I do know in the case of my father-in-law, when he got to such a poor quality of living, he definitely said that he did not want to be resuscitated, that he wanted to be able to pass when it was his time, and that he didn't want to be brought to life. So I think sharing with your family members, having these open discussions is really important, because it's a hard decision, when you don't have a plan in place and someone is on life support. The courts could get involved. It could prolong people's pain and concern. And then, do you want to be the one that says, that you do want to have that ventilator? I mean, that's a lot of weight. If the person on life support has already said they do not want that, it does take the burden off the person deciding it.
Yeah, I must say that it seems like a sad discussion, but actually it's very important and very happy, because then the wishes of the person, which could be you or me. It doesn't mean that it's an old person. It's just a person that needs that. So now let's switch our hats. Whoop. Going to do hat number 2. Now we're going to go over to identity world. And I can tell you, I feel so protected, because with all the crazy identity scams, I know that Identity Shield has got my family covered and my daughter covered. So tell everybody a little bit about, what you should be aware about for your personal identity in the world today.
Betsy, I think the thing that I hear the most from people is that oh, I watch my statements or I watch my bank account and etc. What you don't realize is that there is a whole tribe of thieves that operate on the dark web. So what they try to do is they sell your identity. So what that means is they have your date of birth, your social security number, maybe your medical insurance, and they try to profit. So what a proactive monitoring service like our ID Shield does is it sees the things in your identity that you can't see. It scrubs the dark web 24/7, 365, looking for your home address, your passwords, your emails, your phone number, all that stuff that you couldn't possibly see in a statement or be notified. And then it sends you alerts. You can elect to receive them on your phone and or in email. And then you get to see, what bumped up against your credit file, maybe what password was compromised.
Yeah, and that's so important. They said that like the criminals are not taking a vacation during the virus crisis. The criminals are upping their game because so many people now are online. So many people are buying things online. There's very scary things about those websites that look like the website you think you're on, but they're the shadow website. And I think it's really helpful when I get those Identity Shield notifications that I can just jump on the easy application right on my phone, the app, and see what's going on in my life and know that that's one less thing I have to worry about in the world of all the other things, right? Especially like
Yes.
having bad hair from this headset, and then I don't have to worry about my identity. Susan, you are such a bright light in the world. So I always say, okay, so in our personal life then, if there's one thing we can take this time to do, let's identify that. And in our identity life. So if there's one thing people should do in their personal legal world, what would be that advice?
I would say get your estate in order. Get these documents. There are 3 of them that you need. Let us explain them, walk you through the process, and let's get them done and checked off of your to-do list. It's like this is the time when we have more time and it all can be done from phone or Zoom calls like this, whatever it is. And then the identity, I think it's time to get some proactive monitoring. So to catch people as soon as they intercept bits of pieces of our personal information and say, hey, not us, not today. We're on top of this. We're monitoring it, and we're going to kick those thieves to the curb.
There you go. We're there. Well, that is good. It's good that there's such great products and services available. Susan, tell people how to find you.
So you can find me by my phone number, which is 303-489-8358. And then the best email for me is Susan, Susan, Bees, B as in boy, EES, at hotmail.com. And then if you want to take a look at our products, you can go to www.wearelegalshield.com and look at our products and how we're helping our clients in this time of need.
Well, what a great company doing so much for the world, really founded on the greatest principles. And we just so appreciate you being here on the Sister Strong podcast today.
Thank you, Betsy. I love ya.
Thank you all for listening to Sister Strong, a podcast about possibility. We're part of the Global Sisterhood Podcast Network, women with podcasts on purpose to share ideas and insights and other great women to help you on your journey as we stand together, Sister Strong. Please share this podcast and video with others that it might help because we're all about unconditional love and helping the world be a better place. This is your host, Betsy Wiersma.